Hi guys, Brian from Boas here. Back in 2016 I had a really good year for breeding Suriname Redtail boas with some really outstanding examples produced. Today I want to show you some of my Holdback Suriname Redtails from 2016 so you get an idea of some of the animals that are going to be entering into breeding trials over the next few years. If you want to follow my breeding trials as well as learn all about these wonderful constrictors, please be sure to subscribe to the Boas YouTube channel right now. As you may know from watching my other videos, one of my favorite aspects of breeding boa constrictors is the holdbacks. I always look forward to selecting some choice examples to represent the next generation of boas breeding in my collection. And when I had my first few litters of redtail boas in 2014 and 2015, I actually didn't hold back enough animals and I kind of regretted it later on. So I made a point that in 2016 I was going to hold back a lot of animals for the future of my breeding operation. And if you're just getting started out in breeding, I would definitely recommend that you consider holding back animals, because this is really the future of your breeding projects. And you can sell the animals now and you can bring in some money and invest it into your breeding, but it really makes more sense, I think, to hold on to your favorite animals, grow them up, because they're the future of your breeding operation. And the way that the boa market has been going lately, it really makes financial sense as well. So without further ado, I want to show you some of my favorites from 2016. I had 2 litters, including a litter of my male Prometheus with a Florida Redtails female, as well as a Fudo-Eckert cross, which I bred to a female from Tulsa Zoo bloodlines. So this first animal was sired by my male Prometheus, and the mother was from the Florida Redtails bloodline. And this was one of my favorites from that litter. So this guy I'm actually going to take into breeding trials in 2021. He'll be the first of this generation to go, or this year, 2016 to go. And this guy, I think he really has it all. He's got such a beautiful look to him. He has this kind of wild look, you know, with a lot of background markings, but super high contrast, super dark saddles. Just love how the saddles stand out against his background color. His saddles are peaked, but they're kind of a little blocky and a little bit irregular. Beautiful head markings, beautiful belly markings. And then, of course, last and certainly not least, he's got this super long bright red tail. So just an amazing classic example of a true redtail boa. You know, I don't think they get much better than this, to be honest with you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next generation in this project will have to offer, with some babies hopefully born in the summer of 2021 from this guy. Next we have a brother from that same litter, 2016 Prometheus line. And this male is another really nice one. This guy's got kind of more symmetrical markings and kind of a little bit cleaner background, which, I mean, some people like the clean. I think in this case I prefer the slightly dirtier look of the male I just showed you. But this guy is still really a knockout. You can see he's got these beautiful peaked symmetrical saddles. I love the markings in between the saddles. He's got this kind of lightish, kind of apricot colored head with a lot of cool markings. And then, of course, he's got this really long bright red tail. So another really classic example of a beautiful true redtail boa from Suriname. This guy I might pair up next year. Not quite sure what female I want to pair him up with yet, but most likely he'll be paired up next year. Just another really beautiful male Suriname redtail boa. Now I want to show you a couple females from that litter. So this female really stood out from right after they were born. It's just a really beautiful pattern, just very clean, connected saddles. You can see beautiful peak saddles. You know, kind of a cleaner background color, but just a really beautiful pattern. You know, almost perfect. She actually has one saddle. Where is that saddle? Yeah. So one saddle you can see is only half formed. So that's kind of like her distinctive mark. But other than that one half formed saddle, just a, you know, pretty much perfect pattern. And beautiful head, nice wedge shaped head with a nice long flared, you know, kind of pointy nostrils. Beautiful markings on her head. And of course the long red tail. And you can see she's a little bit smaller than the males. She just hasn't grown quite as fast. They've all been on the same feeding schedule. So with her, she's probably 2 or 3 years away from breeding. Just want to make sure she's good and ready to breed before I set her up. But just another knockout animal from my Prometheus bloodline of Suriname Redtail Boas. And I want to show you one more animal from the Prometheus bloodline 2016 litter. So this is another female that I really like. She actually slightly favors the Florida Redtail's look from the mother of that litter, but she definitely has the Prometheus influence as well with the very long red tail and the high contrast. But she's got these beautiful peak saddles, kind of like the Florida Redtail's mother. This, you can see she's quite a bit bigger than the female I just showed you. You know, even within a litter, they all grow at their own pace, even if given the same feeding schedule. And it's just genetic variability. But this is a really cool animal. She's kind of got a laid-back personality. She'll probably be able to breed about a year before the female I just showed you. But I would imagine it's still at least, 2 years away, if not 3. Just give her plenty of time to grow up. But another really beautiful Suriname Redtail Boa. Now I'm going to show you some animals from my other 2016 litter, which was a female who came from a lineage from the Tulsa Zoo as crossed to a male from Fruto and Eckert bloodlines. And so unfortunately this girl is in shed right now, but she's really one of my pinkest boas. And I actually posted a photo of her in the community section on my YouTube channel. So this is a plug. If you want to see photos of my boas, go to the community section. It's a really cool part of YouTube. I put photos up there. I also put polls. You can vote on polls and also, kind of comment and tell me, answer the poll questions, and it's going to influence the future video. So check out the community section. But back to this female, she's my pinkest boa. She's got a lot of pink color, which unfortunately you can't really see right now. And she's got these peak saddles as well as a lot of background markings, but then she's got this really long, really bright red tail. Just a beautiful looking animal. And this one is another 2016, so she's probably at least 2 years away from breeding, but something to look forward to in continuing this project. And incidentally, these are really my 2 main bloodline groups of Suriname Boas. The first 4 that I showed you is representative of one group that I call my Prometheus line, and then this group that I show you is my other main bloodline. Another 2016 Holdback female from that litter is this one, and I don't think I've had her in any of my other YouTube videos. And I was cleaning out her cage the other day and thought, well, that's such a beautiful animal, it's a shame I haven't shown her off, which kind of prompted me to get the idea for this video. But this is another really beautiful animal. Definitely a lot of pinkish, rosish coloration in her body color. Beautiful bright red tail. Kind of a cleaner look than the female I just showed you. But overall, just a really nice colorful boa with these peak saddles. And this is another one that's a few years away from breeding, but I imagine she'll produce some really nice colorful animals. And this other line is really a colorful line. Just a beautiful, lots of pink. And the litter I just produced from this line, some of the animals had really a lot of body color. So this particular bloodline has a lot of that beautiful body color. And so the last animal for today's video, this is a male from that 2016 Suriname litter. Unfortunately, you can see he's also in shed. It seems like these animals, unfortunately, the way they shed every couple months or so, that I can never catch them all in for a video when they've just shed. And when they've just shed, of course, their colors are the brightest. But you can appreciate how pink this guy is. Just another really beautiful animal. This guy's got pink with kind of darker reddish highlights, peak saddles, and beautiful long red tail. And I anticipate this guy will probably be ready to breed, or he's probably ready to breed this year. I'll probably first pair him up next year. Don't know exactly which female I want to pair him with. But ultimately my plan is I'm going to cross the animals from the Prometheus bloodline, which were the first 4, and I have a couple other holdbacks, with this particular bloodline. And I think that's going to be really gorgeous animals, and the result of several generations of captive breeding for excellence in true red-tailed boas. So I hope this video was helpful for you in showing you some of my future breeders that are coming down the pipeline over the next few years. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your boas.